Hello, so today's video is a book haul. Now all of these books I was very kindly sent from the publisher, which is Meg Label Publishing. They sent me a big box of books, loads of them. I'm so excited to read every single one of them, and I thought I'd do a book haul for you showing them. And as usual, all the books that I mention will be in the description bar below if you want to get your hands on a copy. So let's get straight into it. So first up, I got sent some of these History in a Nutshell series books. There's quite a few of them, and there's several more in the series which aren't here, which I am going to get my hands on as well. But let me quickly show you a few now. So I have Henry VIII's Health by Kyra Cramner, which looks really exciting. Just a book on the health of Henry VIII and all his illnesses, which, you know, he had a lot. By the same author, I have Edward VI, which I'm really looking forward to because I like reading about Edward VI. Then by Philip Roberts, I have The Mary Rose and Whitehall Palace. By Beth von Statz, I have Thomas Cramner. By Samantha Morris, I have, oh, how on earth do you pronounce this? Cesar Borgia? No idea. And then by Charlie Fenton, I have 1066 and the Battle of Hastings. So all of these are just small little books. These I think would be brilliant. Do you remember my video that I did? I'll link it up here if you haven't watched it, but it was my video on where to start to get into history, and I mentioned like little books. These would be a great ones if you wanted to get into certain aspects of history. These would be a good one to read because it's full of information, but there are pictures in there as well. So next up, I was very kindly sent The Turbulent Crown, The Story of the Tudor Queens by Robert Huai? I don't know how you pronounce that, so sorry. Rubbish with names. This book is what it says on the tin. It's the Tudor Queens. So it starts with Elizabeth of York. Then we go to Henry VIII's 6 wives. Then we have Lady Jane Grey, Mary I, and of course finishing with Elizabeth I. But it is beautifully done. Look at that. So each one has like a little rose in the corner. There's pictures throughout, there's timelines. I'm really interested to see how detailed this book is, because to be honest, on the outside it looks fantastic. Then I have two books by Connor Brine, I don't know, I'm so bad with names. The first one that I received was Queenship in England 1308 to 1485, Gender and Power in the Late Middle Ages. This I am so excited to read. As you know, I have been trying to expand my history knowledge and delve into slightly different eras and ages of history, and I wanted to go pre-Tudors, and I think this is a brilliant book for me to kind of start with, because this is about loads of different women of the Middle Ages, and I can be like, oh, she's fascinating, I want to learn more about her, and I think that would be a good way to do it, so very excited for that one. And then I was also very kindly sent by the same author, Catherine Howard, A New History. This has been sat on my wish list for quite a while. Slowly I do get around to my wish list, but it takes a little while for things to kind of dwindle its way down because it's so big. So I was very excited when I received this. This I think will be very interesting because it's part of this kind of new age of books on Catherine Howard, where we're rethinking the evidence that was laid against her and all that. So I'm very excited to read this and see what I think of it. Exciting. Next, I got sent a lot of books by Claire Ridgway. First up was Tudor Places of Great Britain in association with the Tudor Society. This book I think is going to go and live in the car. This is pretty much what it says on the tin, and I think it's going to be very helpful. So in the contents pages you have certain areas of the UK, for instance South West, South East, London, East of England, East Midlands, West Midlands, Wales, etc, etc, and then places within that and their relevance to the Tudor period and what you can see there, etc, etc. So I'm very excited, and when I was looking through them, the area in which I live, I was thinking surely I'm going to seen pretty much all of these, and there's actually some that I never even heard of, so I was really excited, and I'm definitely going to go and try and find them and then cross them off my list. So this is really good for those who like a bit of an adventure and like exploring the UK. This would be a good one. Or if you're visiting the UK and you want some places to go and see, this will be a good thing to get your hands on. Next, also by Claire Ridgway, is a fantastic book, and it's On This Day in Tudor History. This was a book that I started to write just for myself quite a few years ago, and it was just ended up scattered bits of paper everywhere, and I think when you are interested in a certain age you do automatically do something like this, but it's so nice to have it all here for you. So this book essentially is about the Tudor dynasty, but it's every single day. So 9th of February, 10th of February, turn the page, 11th of February, 12th of February, you get the gist. So it's every single day, what happened on every day in the Tudor period. Genius. This is brilliant. It'd be brilliant if you're a teacher, if you do pub quizzes, if you're writing perhaps a historical fiction book, or if you're writing a non-fiction book and you just want a bit of reference. Genius. So good, so handy, and I really wish there was books like this on all the ages of history, because that would be so helpful. Next I have another book by Claire Ridgway, but also by Claire Cherry, I think I'm saying that right, and it's George Boleyn, Tudor Poet, Courtier and Diplomat. This is another book that has been on my wish list for an awfully long time, and I'm so happy that I finally got my hands on a copy. George Boleyn is a fascinating man, and is someone who I feel that in shows such as The Tudors and The Other Boleyn Girl hasn't really got the best deal, and hasn't really been shown in his best light of who he really is. So I'm really glad that I've got this book, so now I can read all about him and yeah, just learn who the real George Boleyn is. And finally, last but not least, I have The Fall of Anne Boleyn, A Countdown, also by Claire Ridgway, The Real Truth About the Tudors. I did a read along of this book when I read the preference, which you can watch up there if you haven't done already. I'm going to film a review of this because I really enjoyed it, and this book is very, very different. It is not like any other book that I've seen on Anne Boleyn. It is a countdown of the days to Anne Boleyn's death. It's very interesting, very intriguing, and you can look forward to my review. So that's it for this haul. I hope you enjoyed it. I've got a lot of books to get reading now. As I said at the beginning, they are linked in the description bar below if there's any that you want to get your hands on already. But if there's any that you think, oh, I like the sound of that, I want to review, let me know in the comments section and I'll get reading. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I shall see you soon for the next one. Take care for now. Bye!